Welcome! I got something special for you today. This classic Infiniti product, a 2010 Infiniti EX35 all-wheel drive that we have for sale. One amazing luxury crossover SUV with a heavy emphasis on sportiness. And you might be looking at this EX35 and it's not just you. I've been with Infiniti 20 years. I've showed this car to a lot of potential customers. And honestly, yeah, it might look like grandma's little luxury wagon. It's not really, it doesn't really stir the soul as far as looks going. It's kind of understated look. I think, it's grown on me. I like the way it looks, but it doesn't scream, hey, I'm fast, I'm furious. Almost just the opposite. But this is what we call a sleeper. A sleeper is a car that doesn't look like fast, that is fast. So underneath that grandma's luxury wagon bodywork, grandma's SUV, there's some serious sporty DNA baked in this thing. It shares its advanced image platform with the Nissan Z, and pretty much every sporty Infiniti you've seen in the last 20 years, the G35, G37, share the platform with this EX35. It's a rear-wheel drive based platform, and it features a 3.5 liter V6, an engine that you find in a lot of performance Infinitis and in the older Nissan Z, pumping out 297 horsepower. So not a very big vehicle, 300 horsepower. This thing cooks. And on top of that, you have a all-wheel drive system with racing pedigree. This all-wheel drive system originally originated from the R32 Skyline, and that's a Tesla all-wheel drive system helped the R32 Skyline achieve racing success in the Japanese and European touring car series. We've still put this all-wheel drive system in brand new Infinitis. If you buy a brand new Q60 or Q50 Red Sport, it's going to pretty much have a very similar, if not almost identical, all-wheel drive system to what you find in this EX35. See, the more we start talking about it, we're seeing that this thing does have some serious sporty DNA baked into it. And it's made in Japan. In fact, this is sold domestically in Japan as a Nissan Skyline crossover. The Skyline brand is many different vehicles. Obviously, you have the GTR that sits atop the Skyline pyramid, Godzilla. But there are a lot of other vehicles underneath the Skyline brand, like the Q50. Here, Infiniti Q50 is sold domestically in Japan as a Nissan Skyline, as well as a G37. I can go on and on. So yeah, when I was in Japan, I saw a bunch of these with Nissan badges called Skyline crossovers. And pretty much, yeah, Nissan had a great idea. Hey, let's just take it from Japan. Let's take this Nissan Skyline crossover from Japan and we'll just rebadge it as a Infiniti and sell it through our Infiniti dealerships. And it sold quite well to us, and we still have it to this day. It's evolved into the new QX50. But the new QX50, as cutting edge as that bodywork is, underneath you have a front-wheel drive based platform, a 4-cylinder engine, and a CVT transmission, which is great for space and efficiency and practicality. But when it comes to sportiness, a nice naturally aspirated V6 rear-wheel drive platform, and is this a 7-speed or a 5-speed automatic? I'll have to check. I know eventually they've switched to a 7-speed. It might have been this year, so it might be a 7-speed. I'll have to check on that for you. I'll post it up on the screen. By the way, great transmission with a manual shift mode. You have this beautiful leather interior, moonroof, power and heated front seats, a nice wood trim. I love the analog clock. Infiniti has done away with that too. It's too bad. I really love that. It's a nice touch. I have an Infiniti FX37, one of my favorite Infiniti products, and it shares a lot of mechanical DNA with this EX35. These have also been proven to be very reliable. This powertrain, I've seen lots of examples with 200 and even 300,000 miles. One of the best V6s ever offered in America. Don't take my word for it. Do a little research and you'll find some amazing accolades on this powertrain and this vehicle. We have a Bose sound system, navigation system. We have a rear parking camera, and you can have this side view. Seems kind of like rudimentary, I guess, today, but in 2010, this is pretty much cutting technology for a lot of vehicles. We have a power adjustable steering wheel that tilts and telescopes. This one has 404,000 miles at the time making this video. Runs and drives great. It's been serviced and checked by our Infiniti certified techs. In fact, too better to buy a pre-owned Infiniti from, especially an older one like this with 110,000 miles, than a new Infiniti retailer like us, where our techs have a lot of experience working on these vehicles. Maybe not on a daily basis, but we probably see vehicles like this at least every week. Nice styling on the front end. You could almost call this like a G35 or G37 wagon. Even though it's a crossover SUV, it's not that much taller. If you parked it next to a G35, it's only a couple inches taller than the G35, so it has a pretty low center of gravity, excellent handling and braking. It has that amazing 3.5 liter V6. You have maintenance-free timing chain, so you don't need to worry about the cost replacement of timing belts. It was upgraded with dual intakes, tad under 300 horsepower. It's a great engine. I can't tell you enough good things about that engine. It is a subcompact crossover, so we don't have the most legroom back here. It's not too bad. And with a nice sweeping roof line for kind of like a sports car inspired styling. We do kind of give up a little cargo space in the back for the sake of style. But, you know, if you want more practicality, go get a boxy crossover SUV. This is a curvaceous beauty. We have the original cargo area cover. The seats fold down for more cargo space. There's a spare tire. Great idea in packaging. They actually put the subwoofer for the Bose sound system inside the tire to maximize space. Great idea. All right, let's get behind the wheel and take this out for a spin. Okay, we're behind the wheel of this lovely 2010 EX35 classic Infiniti product. Runs and drives great. Obviously, when you're buying an older vehicle of 100,000 miles, it's kind of a wild card, you know. When a vehicle has 100,000 miles on it, you know, even the most reliable ones, anything could happen, you know. But maybe you can't afford a brand new luxury crossover, so this is what your budget entails. But you know, if I was gonna buy a pre-owned luxury crossover, I would get one like this, made in Japan. Just with my experience with vehicles, being a used car manager, seeing all our cars go through the shop, seeing the health reports on every single used car that we have, I see patterns develop, and it's no surprise that the vehicles in Japan just seem to have less issues, less problems as they get older. And that's why, you know, when I bought one of my pre-owned Infinitis, FX37, that one has 80,000 miles on it. I think I bought it with 70,000 miles, and when I bought it 2 years ago, it's a 2013, it was still an older vehicle, but I knew that, you know, if I'm gonna buy an older, you know, luxury crossover like this, this is the one to get, because I know they're reliable. I've seen I've seen it with my eyes. You know, not everyone, you know, you could buy a newer, you know, Toyota Corolla or a RAV4 for the money and, you know, be more reliable, less expensive to own and maintain. But not everyone wants a Corolla or a RAV4. Some people want a luxury vehicle. You want to be pampered. You want a little style. So everyone's a little bit different. So those of you that are looking for an older, you know, $10,000 used crossover, luxury crossover, sporty performance, the older EX35, QX50, the FX series, FX35, FX37, they're all fantastic, rock solid vehicles. Can't say enough great things about them. So the all-wheel drive system in this thing, talking about that, coming from the R32 Skyline, that's called a TESSA, which stands for Advanced Total Traction Engineering System for All-Terrain. What's special about it is under normal driving conditions like this, it will be 100% rear-wheel drive for the feel of a rear-wheel drive sports car that also helps with gas mileage. But as soon as those rear wheels slip in a matter of milliseconds, almost instantly it can send up to 50% of the vehicle's power to the front wheels. An amazing all-wheel drive system, very reliable. And not only does it improve your wet weather traction and stuff, but it improves your performance. If you're taking this thing through a corner, you can get on the power a little bit earlier, and that all-wheel drive system will pull you through. There's a reason why the all-wheel drive system, you know, made the R32 Skyline a legend and helped it achieve racing success. Is it helped it perform better on the racetrack, you know, or in the wet or dry. And the Japanese engineers, they love to copy, but they may copy, but a lot of times they'll improve. And this all-wheel drive system, the TESSA all-wheel drive system, was actually inspired by the all-wheel drive system from the Porsche 959, a amazing exotic high-performance Porsche, originally designed for Group B rally racing, which would, you know, be racing in all sorts of conditions, you know, dry, snow, dirt, gravel, mud. And but the Japanese engineers wanted to do one better. They wanted an 100% rear-wheel drive bias, so that's the improvement they made on it. And I haven't seen one of these all-wheel drive systems go bad in Infiniti that I can remember in 20 years of working for Infiniti. They're just fantastic. And with 300 horsepower, this thing scoots, and it sounds pretty good. It's got a nice raspy sound to it. We got a little clearing the traffic. Let's see how it accelerates. All right. No issue at all getting up to 60 miles an hour. You know, maybe if you compare this to more contemporary vehicles, you know, it might not seem quite as fast, but you know, this thing is 14 years old, 100,000 miles, but it still offers great performance. I'll slow it down a little bit, no one behind me really, so I'll test the roll and acceleration. Yeah, it's running strong. Yeah, nice tight handling. You have the advanced front midship platform. The reason why they call it the advanced front midship platform is they take the engine and they place it as far back behind the front axle as possible. It's actually almost like a mid-engine vehicle, so that gives us perfect 50-50 weight distribution as possible. Yeah, and this thing is great. Hardly any body roll. We got a green arrow here. I'll take this thing around the corner here. I'm gonna get in the power. The all-wheel drive system, stability control system keeps things in check. Not blowing sideways, distributing power. Yeah, just a great vehicle. And on top of that, these things do awesome in the snow. I always feel like, you know, we don't get too much lowland snow here in the Pacific Northwest, but the few times we do, I just kind of feel like on top of the world where I see all these people on their little two-wheel drive cars not making it uphill, and I just go up a hill no problem. This all-wheel drive system is amazing. I can't say enough good stuff about it. Well, there you go, a little overview of this classic EX35, eventually evolved into the QX50 that we know today. Thanks for watching, hope to see you soon, and have a wonderful day.